Aaron, and I play Mia in Need for Speed Most Wanted. Make sure you do all your racing in the game. On the streets, drive safely and responsibly, and wear your seatbelt.
Guys, welcome to the channel, and today we will be looking into Need for Speed Most Wanted and whether it is the masterpiece people say it is. Let's get into the video. Need for Speed Most Wanted featured an expansive open-world environment called Rockport City. The city was divided into various districts: Rosewood, Camden Beach, and downtown Rockport. Each district was unlocked by progressing through the game. Players could freely roam the city, engaging in races, evading police pursuits, and discovering hidden shortcuts and collectibles. The open-world aspect added depth to the gameplay, allowing for exploration and strategic planning in completing objectives. Additionally, the environment was dynamic, with changing weather conditions and a night cycle, enhancing immersion and realism. Overall, the open world of Need for Speed Most Wanted provided players with freedom and diversity in their gameplay experience. The game introduced police pursuits, and it did not disappoint. Police pursuits were a central gameplay element, as the game is called Most Wanted. These pursuits added excitement and challenge to the experience. The pursuit mechanics include heat levels, which indicated the intensity of police pursuits as players engaged in illegal activities such as speeding, crashing into other vehicles, or evading capture. The heat level increased, resulting in more aggressive police tactics and stronger law enforcement presence. The police used tactics to apprehend players, including setting up roadblocks, deploying spike strips, and calling in backup units. As the heat level increased, police tactics became more aggressive, making evading capture increasingly difficult. During pursuits, players could reach milestones by achieving specific objectives, such as surviving for a certain amount of time, causing a certain amount of property damage, or escaping from a pursuit with minimal damage to their vehicle. Achieving these milestones rewarded players with bonus points and enhanced their reputation as a skilled driver. Each successful evasion of the police increased the player's bounty level, with higher bounties attracting more and aggressive, persistent police attention. After successfully evading the police, players entered a cooldown period during which law enforcement presence diminished, allowing them to resume normal activities without immediate risk of pursuit. However, players had to remain vigilant, as police could still detect them if they engaged in illegal activities during the cooldown period. Police pursuits provide an adrenaline-fueled challenge for players requiring quick reflexes, strategic thinking, and skillful driving to outmaneuver the law and maintain their status as the most wanted racer. Street racing game obviously needs to have cars, and Need for Speed Most Wanted had cars, a diverse variety of cars ranging from exotics and sports cars to muscle and tuner cars. The game featured a pretty lackluster number of 30 licensed vehicles, seeing as the most recent Need for Speed has over 120 cars. The game features cars such as Porsche, Lamborghini, BMW, Chevrolet, and Ford. Each car had unique characteristics in terms of speed, acceleration, and handling, allowing players to choose cars that suited their preferred driving style. Players initially had access to a limited number of cars, with additional cars being unlocked as they progressed through the game, seriously, fuck. Oh my god, I hate doing this shit. and they could only get these cars by buying them using the in-game currency. Some of the most coveted cars were unlocked by defeating the game's blacklist racers in head-to-head races. Players could also customize their vehicle's performance by upgrading various components such as engines, transmissions, tires, nitro systems, and brakes. These upgrades, in addition to performance upgrades, players could customize the visual appearance of their vehicles using a wide range of aftermarket parts and cosmetic enhancements. This included options such as body kits, spoilers, hoods, rims, paint colors, vinyl graphics, decals, and neon lighting, allowing players to create unique and personalized designs for their cars. The Most Wanted status was a central part of the game, and it was how the game progressed. The game's progression revolved around the blacklist, a list of the top 15 most notorious street racers in Rockport City. Players started from the bottom of the list and worked their way up by defeating rival racers in head-to-head races and earning reputation points. To climb the blacklist, players had to compete in a variety of races and challenges, including circuit races, sprint races, drag races, and speed trap events. Winning races and completing challenges earned players cash, reputation points, and respect, which were essential for advancing to the blacklist. Each blacklist racer had a specific set of races and milestones that players needed to complete in order to challenge them to a head-to-head race. Defeating a blacklist racer required winning the final race against them, after which they were removed from the blacklist, and the ultimate goal of the game was to reach the number 1 spot on the blacklist and become the most wanted street racer in Rockport City. Achieving this status required defeating all 15 blacklist racers, including the notorious final boss, Razor, in a climactic showdown. As players progressed through the blacklist, they unlocked new cars, performance upgrades, visual customization options, and access to new areas of the city. Additionally, reaching higher ranks on the blacklist granted players greater prestige and respect among the street racing community. The game does not provide an extensive backstory for a player character. Instead, players are thrust into the role of a skilled street racer who arrives in Rockport City with the goal of climbing the blacklist and becoming the most wanted street racer. The player's motivation is to seek revenge on the antagonist, Razor, who sabotages the player's car and steals their spot on the blacklist early in the game. To reclaim their position and restore their reputation, the player must defeat Razor and his crew, ultimately becoming the number 1 street racer in Rockport City. While the player character's personality is not explicitly defined on the game, their actions and interactions with other characters suggest they are determined, resourceful, and skilled behind the wheel. A player's reputation as a talented and fearless street racer grows as they progress through the game, earning respect and recognition from both allies and rivals alike. Razor Callahan, also known simply as Razor, is the primary antagonist and leader of the blacklist. Razor is the reason for the player's downfall at the beginning of the game. He sabotages the player's car, causing them to lose a crucial race in their prized BMW M3 GTR, which Razor claims for himself. Razor is portrayed as a ruthless and arrogant street racer who will do whatever it takes to maintain his position at the top of the blacklist. He is cunning, manipulative, and willing to resort to underhanded tactics such as sabotage and betrayal to achieve his goals. Razor was depicted to be driving a black Ford Mustang GT until he took the player's car, in which he then upgraded to his liking. I won't be going over the blacklist racers, but I will mention some side characters like Mia Townsend, who serves as the player's contact and guide in the underground street racing scene of Rockport City. She provides the player with information, advice, and assistance through the game, helping them navigate the blacklist and challenges of climbing the blacklist. Sergeant Cross is persistent and relentless. Sergeant Cross is a persistent and relentless police officer who is determined to apprehend the player and put an end to illegal street racing in Rockport City. Throughout the game, Cross leads police pursuits and attempts to suppress progress, making him a formidable adversary. While not necessarily an ally, Cross's presence adds an additional layer of challenge and danger to the gameplay experience. The story in the game is very simple and minimal, as it only has a few short cutscenes and most of it is told through voice messages and text messages. I won't be going into detail, but the story is basically you arriving in Rockport City and you get harassed by Sergeant Cross. Then you go into a car where you meet Mia, and then Razor challenges you to a race, but then he sabotages your car so you don't win and he takes your car and you end up in prison. But then Mia bails you out, gets your car, and informs you of what has been happening while you were inside. Then the end of the game, you get your car back by beating Razor in a race and escaping the city away from Cross. From my experience of playing the game, it has no replay value whatsoever, and it did not get any DLC expansions, but it did get a special edition, which they call the Black Edition, which featured additional races, race modes, and additional cars, but it did not have any story expansion. The game also launched with a multiplayer mode, which offered the traditional race modes, as well as Pursuit Knockout, where players could see who could evade the police the longest. Players could compete in multiplayer races either via split screen or on the same console or online against other players. Players could use their customized cars from the single player mode, allowing them to show them off. Additionally, winning races earned players reputation points. The game also had leaderboards and ranking, and it also had community features such as voice chat and text messaging, which could be used during the gameplay. Need for Speed Most Wanted and Midnight Club 3 released in the same year, and both the games seem to have their own aspects, as Most Wanted seems to have more influence on the street racing game genre, and Midnight Club innovated the genre in more aspects of car customization, graphics, and game modes. Need for Speed Most Wanted didn't really innovate much from its predecessor, Underground 2, yet it is cited as being better than the former. Most Wanted seems to have more of a nostalgia effect than being an actual good game, as nowadays people expect EA to make another Most Wanted because they say it was better than what they released today. Yet reality is that if Most Wanted was to get a remake, it would not be very good, as it has a lot of problems like repetitive gameplay, boring, generic, and having a genuinely cringe-worthy story. EA has made better games than Most Wanted, like Need for Speed Heat or the Hot Pursuit remake in 2010, yet people still hate on those games for no reason. Need for Speed Most Wanted should be kept the way it is and should not get a remaster or remake of any form. Just look at the situation with Rockstar Games and the GTA trilogy. Even though Most Wanted is cited as one of the best games of all time, it's not really that good. There's a very short list of cars, car customization is very laggy, the game is very repetitive with its gameplay, it has limited multiplayer features, a linear progression system, and the story is very lacking. The game is good but not perfect, and in order to notice that, people should remove their nostalgia colored glasses. But anyway, thanks for watching. This video took a long time to make, and I would appreciate it if you smash that like button and subscribe to the channel to see more videos like this. But until next time, this was Phantom Games signing off.